Georgia Hunter-Bell did something in Paris that nobody who follows women's 1500-meter racing expected to see this early in the season. It was not just the win. It was how she won it. And once you understand what actually happened in that final straight, the Commonwealth Games and European Championships look very different. Pay attention to this one. The women's 1500-meter final in Paris was not supposed to go the way it did. Freweyni Hailu was right there. The Ethiopian had the pedigree, the speed, and the finishing kick to trouble anyone on the circuit. Going into the final lap, she was not behind Georgia Hunter-Bell. She was hunting her. The last 200 meters were where it got serious. Hailu pushed. She closed. The gap that Georgia had built through the middle of the race was shrinking fast, and the crowd in Paris knew it. But Georgia Hunter-Bell did not crack. She crossed the line in 3 minutes 55.63 seconds. Hailu came through in 3 minutes 55.92 seconds. 29 hundredths of a second. That was the gap between a Diamond League victory and second place. That was how close it came. What Georgia did in those final seconds was not luck. It was control. She read the race, she held her form, and when Hailu came, she had an answer. But here is the thing. Paris was not even the beginning of this story. To understand why this win is different from anything Georgia Hunter-Bell has done before, you need to go back a few weeks. Because Paris was not her first Diamond League win this season, and that changes everything. Earlier in the 2026 season, Georgia Hunter-Bell won the Diamond League 1500-meter in Rome. That is not a small result. Rome is one of the most competitive stops on the Diamond League calendar. The field is strong, the conditions are fast, and the women who show up there mean business. Georgia won it. Then she went to Paris and won again. 2 Diamond League wins in one season puts her in a completely different conversation. This is no longer a runner building towards something. She is the runner others are building their race plans around. She is the one they are trying to beat. Think about that shift. Before this season, Georgia Hunter-Bell was dangerous. After 2 Diamond League wins, she is a threat. Those 2 words are not the same thing. Remember the opening of this video. Georgia walking in with doubts on her back. 2 Diamond League wins later, those doubts have names and they lost. The time matters. 3 minutes 55.63 seconds was a season best for Georgia Hunter-Bell. To put that in perspective, running a 1500 meter under 3:56 puts you in a very small group of women on the planet. It is not a time you run by accident. It requires fitness, race management, and the ability to execute under pressure against elite competition. She did not run that time in a time trial. She ran it in a Diamond League final with Freweyni Hailu breathing down her neck for the last 400 meters. That is the part that matters most. Fast times in easy races tell you one thing. Fast times in hard races tell you something else entirely. Georgia ran 3 minutes 55.63 seconds in a fight, and she won the fight, so now you know what she did. But the question that every British athletics fan needs to sit with is this: what comes next? Because Georgia Hunter-Bell's season is not over. It is not even close to over, and the races ahead of her are bigger than anything she has run in 2026 so far. 2 major championships are coming for Georgia Hunter-Bell in the second half of 2026. The Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, the European Championships in Birmingham, both on British soil, both in front of home crowds, both on courses where the noise from the stands will shake the track. The 1500-meter field at both championships will be strong. That was always going to be true, but the competitors who come up against Georgia now have 2 data points from 2026 to think about. She won in Rome. She won in Paris. She did not fade when Hailu came. This is the runner who destroyed the Paris 1500-meter final, and she is about to race in front of her home crowd twice. Freweyni Hailu is not a slow finisher. She is one of the best closers on the Diamond League circuit. She pushed hard over the last 200 meters in Paris and still could not get to Georgia. That means Georgia did not just run a fast time. She ran a fast time, and she still had enough left at the end to hold off one of the best finishers in the world. That finishing ability is what makes her dangerous at global championships. 1500-meter races at that level almost never go out hard and stay hard. They build, they get tactical, and then in the last 300 meters, whoever has the best kick wins the medal. Georgia Hunter-Bell showed in Paris that her kick is real. It held off Hailu by 0.29 seconds. At a Diamond League final, that is not a narrow win. That is a controlled win. There is one more layer to this story that most people have not stopped to think about. Georgia Hunter-Bell is an Olympic bronze medalist. She already has a medal. She already proved she can perform at the biggest stage. But the athlete you saw in Paris is not the same athlete who stood on that Olympic podium. And the difference between those two versions of Georgia Hunter-Bell matters going into 2026. When Georgia Hunter-Bell won Olympic bronze, it was huge. It put her on the map. It confirmed she belonged at the top level. But winning bronze and winning Diamond League finals are different challenges. Olympic bronze means you ran your best race on the biggest day of your life and came third. That is incredible. Winning back-to-back Diamond League finals in the same season means you are consistently better than the best in the world, at two separate events weeks apart, under different conditions. Freweyni Hailu, who finished 0.29 seconds behind her in Paris, is not a fringe competitor. She is one of the top 1,500-meter runners in the world. Ethiopia has produced some of the best middle-distance athletes in history, and Hailu carries on that tradition. She has run fast, she has won races, and she came to Paris ready to compete. Georgia beat her on the line. In Rome earlier this season, the field was equally strong. Diamond League meetings do not invite weak runners to fill spots. Every woman who shows up at a Diamond League 1,500-meter is capable of winning on the right day. Georgia has been the right person on those days. Twice that context matters when you look ahead to Glasgow and Birmingham. The Commonwealth Games field will include runners from Kenya, Ethiopia, Australia, and across the UK. The European Championships field will bring the best of the continent. Neither event will hand Georgia a medal because of her Diamond League form. But her Diamond League form tells us she can compete. She can race tactically. She can hold off fast finishers, and she can run under 3:56 when it counts. Those are not small skills. Those are the exact tools you need to win a major championship 1,500-meter. British middle distance running in 2026 is not short of names. But the 1,500-meter is a specific event. It is hard to win, and it is hard to dominate. Georgia Hunter-Bell has won two of the most competitive 1,500-meter races on the planet this season. She has done it with a season best of 3 minutes 55.63 seconds. She has done it by holding off closers in the final straight, and she has two major home championships left on the calendar. Britain does not get many 1,500-meter athletes who check all of those boxes at the same time. When Georgia Hunter-Bell crossed that line in Paris, she was not just winning a race. 2 Diamond League wins. She was building something, a finish that stopped Freweyni Hailu in her tracks. This is the athlete who just destroyed the Paris 1,500-meter final. And if you are not picking before Glasgow, you will be by the time those races are over. You will be by the time those races are over.